Hello everyone. Decisions drive destiny, but what drives decisions? This is very pertinent and important question to answer. Ki how we should know as a person, how we should be aware ki what decision to be taken and when to be taken. Is it the right time for me to take this decision? Is it not the right time for me to take a decision? So the biggest power which a human has is an ability to think. What differentiates the human beings from all other living organisms on this earth? And if we have this intellect, if we have this wisdom, if we have this power and capability, why not leverage it? Why not use this opportunity to design and customize our decisions, which can in fact change our destiny? I, Sidhharrth Kumaar, am a numerologist, a pharmacist turned into a numerologist, and a chief happiness officer at Numerovani. I am going to talk about what makes us differentiate, what defines us as a human being, what is something which differentiates us from the competition. Before I dive into this area, that how it impacts us as a human being, let us first talk about my journey, how I came into this world of astrology and numerology. When we hear these words, numerology, astrology, the back of the mind clicks of something like a religious figure or something like a spirituality, or something a figure which needs lot of customs, lot of cultures, lot of parameters to be considered. But we are the Gen Z. We are the modern age, we are living in the scientific age. Should we believe it or not? Is it a superstition or is science? What is it all about? So my journey, or I call it my first person encounter or first person experience of this numerology, started at the age of 6 years. And at that age of 6 years, this becomes quite tough to understand, does it really matter? But the curiosity at that point of time intrigued me to learn this subject from the very basics. Understand what the purpose is. Before I decide and say something is right, something is wrong, I should know about it. Until or unless I know about something, I cannot say it's right or wrong. Because judging a book by its cover will not do the real justice. And this one line was my vision to start the journey of numerology at the age of 6. I started my journey with Samudrik Shastra. So Samudrik Shastra is something which talks about human body. All of us has got nose, eyes, ears, but it impacts. How does it define our persona? How does it define my personality? To help you understand, you meet someone and you feel happy. Wow, what a pleasant opportunity. You start clicking the selfies or you're posting on the social media. You meet someone, you feel, yeah, this was the right time. Nahi milna chahiye. So all these things are decided by the persona, decided by the what we are emitting. So what we emit, that is what we're going to attract. So I started my journey with Samudrik Shastra, then moved to astrology, then to numerology, and then to many other modalities of energy healing. The base of all the sciences which I could understand or I could envision was the understanding of karma. What we should do. Is it the right time or right thing I am doing? Is it something not that? And when I further studied more and more, I felt, or I rather identified or reached to a problem, if this is a subject, it's a true, it's a science, but there are no evidence. They're not something which differentiates. Why as a person, why as a new generation scientific personality, I should understand it. Why I should accept it as a part of my life. And that intrigued me, that there is something to be done. It is important, it is highly significant at this point of time to be able to make it relatable, make it believable. Because the generation of today, when we are living, we need the evidences. We need something to relate, something to connect. And this is where I come into picture. So apart from the learning journey of astrology, numerology, so I am born and brought up in Muzaffarpur. I did my complete schooling in Muzaffarpur, and I started my schooling from DAV. So that was a very interesting point, or rather I would say a very trigger point for me to dive it more, because DAV at that point, not sure of present time, but at that point used to be very connected to having the mantras, having Havan, and having lot many things. And that, what discipline get imbibed at the age of that remained continuous. So, and the journey continued, started moving it on. But imagining a situation of early 1990s, or say somewhere around 94, 95, a small kid of 6 or 7 years walking to your parents and say, okay, this is the profession I'm going to do in a setup like Muzaffarpur at that point of time. This was something unimaginable, because it was not presumed to be a career. Still, we don't believe the astrology or numerology can be a career opportunity. I'm very sure most of you would not agree to that. Yeah, I want my kid to pursue this as a profession. At least 5 years or 4 years behind. Right now, this has changed. And from there on, I also felt if I have to go into this journey, I need to start moving on. I need to focus more and understand how I can make more impact. And then I did my schooling, 10th and 12th from Muzaffarpur, Bihar itself. And once I did that, I was very clear कि चलो कुछ तो करना है. And this was something no भाई हम तो वो है जो career अपने choice से थोड़ी choose करते हैं, parents से choose करते हैं. Parents ने बोल दिया ये career करना है तो करना है. We have to move to that. So I went to Rajasthan and pursued my bachelor in pharmacy. And that was another interesting area, and which triggered not many things. So the complete focus of research, how a clinical trial is conducted, how this research can be further substantiated, evidence can be generated to make it more believable, make it more relatable. That is what transpired and I learned from there. After I completed my graduation in 2013 in my pharmacy, still at that point of time, starting at the age of 6, around 95, 96, till 2013, it was a good amount of time of around 14, 15 years I spent in only one thing, that is learning. Nothing else than that. So this was a passion, this was the interest area of neurology at that point of time. And I hadn't thought at that point of time, can I go and make it a career. It was like, it's my passion, I have to read it, I have to give it, transform it. I have to give it a new dimension which makes the young generation more relatable to it. And this learning continued. So a lot of books, magazines, research papers, journals, speaking to people, and so on. In 2013, that was a very critical time. We call it decisions. This cannot be, if I talk about 2013, there was not that much technology penetrated, there was not everything which was very predominant in India. So I started my career with a startup at that point of time into strategy consulting. That was another decision which was very powerful and which still impacts me in my decision making capability. Advising the businesses what to do, what not to do. And this was pure based on the data science, pure based on the knowledge available at that point of time. So around a decade or so, I worked in the consulting industry, advising corporates, startups, SMEs, across areas on their business operations and so on. The journey of numerology didn't stop at that point of time. It still continued in parallel. The journey was slowly and steadily moving. From 2013 till 2018, these 5 years were time. What I learned in the last 15 years, from 96 to 2013 around, I started advising the people. Obviously, you don't go and shout, hey, I'm giving you numerology advice, please come to me. Because I don't dress up like a typical astrologer or a numerologist, which we envision it of. But started advising people in friends, families, close knowns. And then they started coming back in another couple of weeks. Because you say something, yeah, this is something that going to happen. This is something will not happen to you. You need the time to pass it on. Say for example, if today I say, yeah, after 2 years something is going to happen, I will have to wait for the 2 years to prove it to be right or true. So the 2013 to 2018, the journey was offline practice, advising people who are more known to you, who are more closer to you, who are more spreading. So it was like word of mouth. 2018 was a very momentous year in my career, and I just shifted my job from a corporate, a big, rating agency in Gurgaon, and moved to Bangalore. And 2018, I still remember the date. It was around. I celebrate my birthday on September 14, and I was sitting with my friends and family. I was sitting with my elder sister, and we were talking about astrology and numerology, how it can actually use, and how they have got this benefits, obviously. And that was the time a question came to me. You know so much, you have a different perspective, but what's the benefit? No one knows you, no one identifies you, no one wants to hear you. And virtually it's not no one wants to hear you, rather it's no one is aware of it. So what's the benefit of knowledge? If I do have a knowledge, so the real justice of that knowledge will happen when I actually make the people aware of it. And that was a very critical year. So in 2018, on September 14 or 15, I guess, I don't remember the exact date at the moment, I thought this is the right time, take it online. On September 15 or 14, 2018, I created my first social media presence, that was on Facebook. So over the last 3 years, from 2018 to until around 4 or 5 odd years, we have garnered more than 100k membership over Facebook. And then the journey came from Facebook to Instagram to Twitter. And I always felt, if I have to transform this world, if I have to motivate this world to think the sciences as a different picture, think the sciences as something which is unique, I will have to create the evidences. I started writing for media outlets. I started writing everywhere I could write it off. So the couple of 3 things which I did, as on date when I talk about, and happy to share or elated to share, whether it's a Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, I'm officially verified on all the platforms, all the major social media platforms as on date. And it was really from 2018, in the 23rd, 2023 early, we are speaking around 4.5 years. I see it as a good milestone. I won't call it a destination, but rather it was a journey, a step, which is definitely the credibility that I'm going to bring it out. So in 2022, more than 100 million users read our content, which is authored by me for different media houses across India and the globe. And I started giving a different paradigm to this science. Okay, how these sciences can be used in our routine life. And I will take a couple of examples from the real life. Each one of us take bath. भाई गर्मी में तो सब लोग नहाते हैं, ठंड की बात मैं करता नहीं, so that's a different story altogether. But each one of us take the bath, and that's the first thing that we usually do. पहली चीज होती है सुबह में जो हम करते हैं, and our science or the numerology or the astrology help us कि we can customize that bath by a herbal bath. This is not something which is unique I am talking about. This is something which has been with us for thousands of years as a rich cultural heritage. And then I did my own research and customized this herbal bath to a next level. And the next level was that customizing it based on your name and date of birth. So often what happens when we think of astrology and numerology, we ignore the part of name. कि भाई नाम तुम्हें क्या रखा है, नाम तो जब चाहो बदल लो, but ऐसा नहीं है. And just one question for each one of you who is listening out to you. Just remember the last situation when someone addressed you by your date of birth. You won't find occasion. The people address us by our name. The people are not going to address you. Say for example, if someone is born on 14th September 1990, the people are not going to call you 14091990 come here. You might not have heard it. This sounds a bit funny, na? So no one calls it out. So it is virtually we are going to be addressed by our name. So this is the significance of our name that comes into our life, comes into our picture. And that sets our parameter. If we have done the right thing, it will get associated to us. If we have done the bad thing, it will also get associated to us. And this is not something it is going to be with us. This is something which I am going to transfer to my next generation as well. The next generation, what will come after me, will get associated with what the deeds, what the efforts I have done. If I have done the good, they will get the good things. If I have done the bad, they will get associated. Still, in the right now, if we talk about the people who participated in our freedom struggle, their offsprings, their grandsons, granddaughters get addressed to their grandfathers or great-grandfathers were freedom fighters. They didn't do anything, but they got that recognition. Why? Because of the name. So name is another important vital component that gets added. And this is where my own research comes into picture. Customizing your bath, the simple bath that we do every day based on your name to make sure you live your life, the complete day, a happy and prosperous life. So this is one aspect. Our routine life. Now comes your food. सब लोग खाना खाते हैं, बिना खाना खाए कोई नहीं रह सकता. That can also be customized. Based on the attributes of my body, is my body having high energy? Which we call Agni Tattva. Is my body watery in nature? Jal Tattva. That can help us in customizing what to eat, what not to eat. And then all of us wear the clothes. सब लोग पहनते हैं. And that also important. When you go to a shopping, you get identified, but this is something which I like, this is something which I don't like. So there should be a reason for it, na? Why you liked it, why you didn't like something. So every color that is around us has a potential to impact us, has a potential to impact how we think, how we innovate, how we live in our life. So color is another important element in our normal lifestyle that can be part, that can be customized based on the numerology to help you with that. So every color brings something new. You might forget the name, but you don't forget the logos. Logos याद रहते हैं. वो आधा कटा हुआ सेब सबको याद रहता है. देखते ही याद आता है कुछ तो अच्छा है, कुछ तो बनाया है, कुछ तो यूनिक होगा. वो पीला M देखते देखते याद आता है तो कोई तो एटरी चेन है. So there should be rasa. So it's not about individual life. When we think of numerology, when we think of these sciences, is it only for the individuals? Is it something only for as a person? No. Helping the person to discover the real potential is just one aspect of it. And I see numerology as a way to live life.